How are you doing today, folks? This is my custom built square drop. I built it from the ground up a few years ago. I want to take some time and show you what I have in this here rig. Hope you enjoy. Starting outside, we'll work our way into 3 compartments. I've got a locker in the front, a kind of a master suite in the middle, and a garage in the back. The whole rig is 14.5 feet long from the tip of the tongue back to the receiver, 7.5 feet wide, and it's just shy of 2,200 pounds, which, believe it or not, was actually what I planned on. Just to give you a little insight of why I built this camper and what its goal was, I have a family of 5. They're all about my size, and we wanted to travel the country. Figured this was a good way to transition from the tent camping that we had been doing to something a little more capable. Let's start where I started, the metal. Built it from the ground up using sticks of metal, 2" by 2" 3/16. Steel forms the majority of the frame, and I have a center channel that's 2.5 by 2.5, 3/16 running the full length from the tongue to a receiver in the rear. The fenders are 16 gauge metal and 1 by 1" 1/8" material. The majority of everything is stick welded with 7018. There is some MIG welding in here using, 7525 gas. After quite a bit of research, I decided to go with 3,500 pound timber and axle suspensions with a 2" lift, and those made up to a 12" hub assembly with electric brakes. To get this rig in the air, I have Bulldog square jacks on each rear corner and the tongue. They lift 3,000 pounds, 28.5 inches with a drop leg. The box itself is made up of mostly 3/4 inch BCX plywood. The X is basically marine glue, and I went with BC because when I built it, everything was super expensive. I had originally wanted some fur AC, but you use what you can get. And I have 1-by framing all throughout it for support and joist running across the roof. The roof is 1/2" material. I went a little bit lighter in order to save money. And the floor is a sandwich with 2 layers of 1" foam, so I guess 2 inches of foam, and a 1/2" sheet on each side. Everything is coated with epoxy resin, and in certain places, strategically, actual fiberglass or cloth. So the roof is covered with a cloth. All of the seams, the corners and joints are covered with either fiberglass or actual cloth and resin. I made the garage door and the doors for the locker on either side, but decided to go with vintage technologies for the doors and windows, just for a nicer, cleaner look, and hopefully to be waterproof in the long run. So far, really pleased with both of them. I had the door on each side so that we can get out of the camper and in the camper from either side, although we primarily use one side. The options there. Windows for the same reason. We have airflow. We have a bit of symmetry that we like. To protect the camper as we roll down the road, I've got it covered in Raptor liner, which is the Amazon brand of bed liner. I did go ahead and throw this design in the front. Figured I could cover it up if I didn't like it, but it's supposed to be Chalk Creek Canyon in Colorado, a place the family and I really enjoy tent camping at. For wheels and tires, we have 225/75 15s, and they're actually trailer tires. Eventually they might be car tires, but for right now they're Lodestars, and some 6-lug aluminum wheels that fit the same 6-lug as a GM basically. Originally I wanted Tacoma wheels, and I couldn't find them for the price I wanted, so I went ahead and bought these. Moving inside, let's start with the locker up here in the front. The driver's side locker houses all the electronics basically. We have our 12-volt battery, we have all of our cables and wires, and shore power. Our fuse panel that is ever growing as I add things, battery charger, the breakaway system for the trailer brakes, And then the actual trailer brake wiring comes inside, so it's easy access. And we have a master shutoff, as well as a 20-volt AC circuit with 4 gang plugs in. On the show side, we have our slide-out cooler with a little bit of storage underneath. If I'm not mistaken, these are 300-pound slides. I'll link everything I can, and actually I'm thinking about making a video for prices and products, everything I took to make it and the overall cost in a separate video. Moving to the rear, we have our garage, which is all the food storage and the kitchen supply stuff, and eventually a slide out kitchen or out the side. Pretty proud of these hinges. Does anybody recognize these? Let me know in the comments below if you know where these came from before I get to them. So this does have gas struts. This garage door, I went ahead and made it out of 1x framing and some just 1/4-inch plywood, and the whole thing is covered with fiberglass, and of course fiberglass resin. Makes it nice and light, and so I could use smaller gas struts than a full piece of 3/4. If I had used the 3/4-inch piece that I cut out of the back wall, it was just much too heavy. So this has worked out pretty well. I made my own little locking system to close it. It's been working. It was initially just something to do rather quickly, but it's stuck with me so far for 4 years in. Same with the gas struts, just using some aluminum from Home Depot, bending the pieces I need, and getting the geometry right so that the door works and moves up out of our way. Stepping inside the garage, basically this is where we throw all of our food, kitchen supplies, oven, heaters, propane tank, water. It's a garage, right? It's the catch-all for everything. Eventually I do want to build a slide out kitchen system that comes out on the drinker side over here, but right now we have these temporary shelves in. Temporary, they've been here for 4 years, but just kind of putting some stuff up to see what we like and what works well with us, and eventually build this out to really fit what we need. There's lights everywhere, and I just use these cheapo Amazon lights. I got a pack of 5 or 6, and I put them in the locker, 2 in the garage, and 2 on the inside in the bedroom as well. Back here, this storage area is the full width of the camper and 2 feet deep. Every section, the locker, the bedroom, and the garage, all have that 4-gang AC circuit. Taking a look inside, we have a queen size mattress, fits 2 very comfortably. Plenty of lighting, a vaulted ceiling, got the accent wall in the back. Like I said, door on either side, window on either side, max air fan, with one of the rain guards, so we can leave it open and use it even if it's raining outside. Couple USB chargers on each side. They need to be converted to USB-C now that everything is switched over to USB-C. And at our feet, above the locker, is this cubby that I built in to store our clothes, sleeping bags, basically our everyday living supplies. Fit really nicely in that locker. To make me feel better when we leave this thing at a campsite and go spend a day sightseeing, I built this trailer tongue lock that is overbuilt, pretty big, it's pretty heavy, but I feel it works pretty well. So I've got this big upper shell that, as you can see, is quite thick and quite heavy. And then I have a 2-inch ball welded to the inside here, as well as a bar in the back to hold the whole thing upright. And then we can release the pin just like normal, undo the tongue latch, and pull the ball out. And we have a nice little lock. Peace of mind, really. I have a full video on me building this if you are interested. We've had quite a bit of fun with this thing. We've taken it out to Montana, Tetons, Yellowstone, see some friends out there, Tennessee. Had a great time. It's been really fun. There's some improvements I'd like to make over time, but first and foremost is just get out there and use it.